does President Trump still believe that it was Ukraine, not Russia, that interfered in the 2016 election?
Chris, it doesn't have to be an either or. It can be both. But that reporting was once again miserable reporting by the Washington Post.
Forget the question of Russia. Does the president believe that Ukraine interfered in the 2016 election?
He thinks that we should at least investigate it, Chris.
John would be so thrilled. He's looking down, he'd be so thrilled. Thank you so much, sir. I said, that's okay, don't worry about it. Maybe he's looking up, I don't know.
What'd you think when you heard that?
It just sort of kicked me in the stomach. He called me to tell me he was lowering the flags. And to this day, in this minute, I'm grateful that he did it. I was grateful for the call. He was kind and empathetic, and it meant a lot to somebody who was hurting and loved her husband.
I think the president is saying, you know, John Dingell was not exactly a wallflower. John Dingell recalled to the president imbecile in his closing months. John Dingell himself as well had a lot of critical comments about the president, yet he took time to call Debbie Dingell.
What leverage do you and your fellow Democrats think you have here by holding the articles in the House?
Well, I can tell you, Nana, I went to the floor of the Senate. I was the only member of the Senate sitting on the floor and listened carefully to what Senator McConnell said the other day, and it was very clear to me. He's made up his mind. He's not interested in evidence. He's not interested in the facts. He wants to get this over with.
He's the one blocking the witnesses, Dana. He's the one, he could have his acting chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney, testify. We just found out this weekend that someone who works for Mulvaney, Michael Duffy, had sent an email 90 minutes after the president made that critical call to the Ukrainian president.
The case is pretty thin that the House is sending over us, if they ever send it over to us. Pretty thin gruel from my standpoint. So we'll let both sides have a fair chance of making their case, and then we should take a vote.
I think Senator Johnson, who's my friend and next door neighbor in the Hart building, just made the case of why we should have witnesses. If he really believes it's thin because the President of the United States ordered his top people who were in the room, who have firsthand knowledge, not to testify. He ordered documents not to be turned over.
Frankly, I think it's a mistake on the Speaker's part. I think this has looked pretty political anyway, and this is sort of the icing on the political cake.
I think her position is really untenable. The reality is that she said in the House that this president poses such a grave danger to the globe that we have to trample on his constitutional rights, not allow us to have any witnesses in front of the Intelligence Committee, not allow us to have counsel president, not allow us to provide evidence in our own defense. We're going to trample those rights to rush this through, and now we're going to hold it up to demand a longer process in the Senate with more witnesses.